Yo, what's up, peeps? We back. We back. Happy Thursday. No Gi Thursday. I don't know what you guys got going on. We back a little late today. Was trying to finish that other video up, which I just did. So I'm back. Better late than never, they say. We got UFC BJJ, we got Liver King, we got some other stuff. Yep. Yeah, buddy. UFC BJJ, what you guys think about that, man? What you guys thinking about that? I ain't gonna lie, I turned it off halfway. Before the main card, before the Kikorian match, I had to go do some editing. And then I came back for the Mikey. Match. It was okay, man. It was okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was a success or what. I guess we'll see. We'll see the ROI. We'll see if anybody really watched it or not. Why they put it on a Wednesday night though? I was like, hit about 9 o'clock. I was like, all right, man, I need to get out of this thing. Had to leave my homeboy to watch it for me. So let's get into some of the results. I know the results, even though I didn't watch most of the matches. I was checking up on Instagram what was going on. So let me pull that up real fast. Man, let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm gonna put a little poll in the chat. Did you guys enjoy UFC BJJ? Yes or no? That's all we got on here. It was okay. Some of the matches, I was like, why they got this match? Why they got this person, this purple belt, this blue belt out there like that? So we're just gonna look at the results. You had Carrasco versus Koslow. Black belt versus a purple belt. Black belt took the win. Carrasco. That was a nice match. He put that triangle on quick. He knew he had that win too. He knew he was gonna win that match. So that went well. You had Mir versus Joya. Joya had the legs for it. She could have finished that match. She had a outside heel hook. I believe it was an outside heel hook. She had a calf slicer to possible back take. She got Darce though, I believe, by Frank Mir's daughter. I don't know why they were out there fighting. I guess Mira, what's her name? Bella? Mira. That would have been a cool name too. I think she fights MMA. She does jiu-jitsu. She does wrestling. So she got her hands full. So Joya, they had a lot of people that never did no-gi on this show, and I think that's one of my biggest issues. The main dude didn't do no no-gi. The other dudes didn't do no no-gi. I don't know what was going on. They didn't have no no-gi people on there. I mean, Tacken and Varela, they no-gi. Henrique Moreira, they do no-gi. Mikey does no-gi. Gabriel, he never. That was his first no-gi match. But we'll get to that too. You had Pimento versus Machado. That was a good match until the end part. Seems like people get stuck on that bowl, so I think the design is terrible. Once you hit that bowl, that's it, bro. You don't slide off that bowl. You stuck once you get on that bowl. So if you guys do UFC BJJ, watch out for that bowl. That side of that bowl, that gonna get you. That was a good match, though. I think Machado is more of a gi player. He did okay. Then you had Mora versus Alencar. Alencar was doing okay, but then Mora, that was her first no-gi match. So she had no no-gi experience from what I saw. She just went out there and did what she does. She did well. Again, why are we watching people that never did no-gi before? That was a good match, actually. It was okay. They were slapping. Some hard collar ties were going on. Yeah, Kikorian versus Asantis. I don't really know Asanitis. I don't really know of him. I stopped watching after the Alencar match. Had to go do some editing, and it was getting late. 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night. I was like, shoot, bro, I'm like, I got stuff to do. I'm trying to decompress. Kokorian, I think he did. I'm sure Kokorian took that. I mean, Kokorian was the other guy on the show. Either way, Kokorian's like got more experience than everybody on that show. Basically, I think he's got more experience, no-gi experience than everybody. He was kind of like one of the guys that was supposed to take the whole thing. Then you had Henrique Carlos versus Moreira. What's up, Jason? I didn't see that match either. Carlos won. I knew he was really good. He's fought my friend before. My friend Jeff had a good match. You know, the way he did Isaac, I mean, Isaac, a world champion. You guys don't understand how good a world champion is. Well, that shows you if that dude can beat a world champion, he can beat most people. So that was a good match. I hope on paper it should have been a good match. Jason says, UFC BJJ wild. MMA fighters trying to communicate a technical BJJ match was interesting. Yeah, that also made me not want to watch, having to listen to, I know, was it Dean Thomas? I've heard he's talked a lot of crap about jiu-jitsu over the years. And to have him commentating, and, you know, people that didn't really understand nothing, they don't know what's going on. The audience don't know what's going on. UFC couldn't have hired like Ryan Hall or Gilbert Burns or Damian Maya to explain things. That just kind of shows you, and the interview girl, she didn't know no jiu-jitsu. So maybe they'll fix things. I think they got 3 more events slated for this year, but nobody knew anything. They didn't have no jiu-jitsu. They had all the jiu-jitsu people watching the event, but they didn't have nobody commentating, explaining stuff. No color commentators or nothing. No technical commentators. And that belt, let me tell you, that belt, that Walmart belt, shout out to my boy Christian. He came up with that. That Walmart belt, I'm going to go pick that up after this stream. I'm going to go get that for $29.99 at Walmart. So yeah, they kept getting positions, and how to defend or attack positions was hilarious. Yeah, they didn't know what they were talking about. They're like, they need to stand up and wrestle. You knowing full well you down. You can't even wrestle in that bowl. You hit that side of that bowl, you're going to take your ankle out. And you're going to get your head crushed into the side. You can't wrestle in that bowl. Apparently wrestling doesn't work in a bowl. You can't wrestle. I don't want to hear no self-defense talk about how wrestling is effective. You can't wrestle nobody down in most areas. You're gonna throw yourself. You're gonna throw somebody. You're gonna throw your head onto some hard material. Throw your back out. I don't want to hear you're gonna trip yourself trying to wrestle. I don't want to hear how wrestling is self-defense. Good for self-defense no more. You guys know when I start the video with UFC BJJ, you know I'm gonna rant today. Yeah, man. So yeah, I didn't see that match. I saw the results. Carlos won. This match, Tackett won. Tackett been on a good run, man. He's been on a good run. I will say he hasn't been fighting the guys we want to see him fight. He's not fighting Cade. He's not fighting Ty. He's not fighting Mika. He's not fighting those guys. Tynan. He might have fought him a while ago, but I want to see the matches again. Varela's good, but he like me. We old. He out there fighting 20-year-olds at 30, 32, 33. But shout out to Varela. He out there. The issue with Varela is the issue that most older grapplers going to have, especially in grappling. Most athletes, your physicality ain't going to be the same as it was when you were 25. So you have to focus on your technique, guys. You have to. That's something that I started to do when I hit 25, I believe. Was I 25? 26, 27. I was like, man, I better start developing some good technique. Now my technique, I'm a brag. My technique's not too bad, but if you just rely on your intuition, your physicality, hey, listen, you hit 29, 30, that starts to go away a little bit. 33, all right, not quite the same. And then we had Musumeci versus Gabriel. Gabriel did pretty well. I mean, he can't defend his legs, but that was his first no-gi tournament, first no-gi match. And he just started no-gi last week, so he did actually really well. He did better than Gabriel Souza. But the whole time I was thinking, if you can weather Mikey's storm, what else does Mikey have? He's not gonna take unless he does a bolo. He's not gonna take your back. You don't want to be on top. So I'm wondering. I'm not saying I saw a hole in Mikey's game, but I'm like, if you know how to defend leg locks, what else has Mikey got in nogi? You know how to if you can defend the bolo and you can defend his leg locks, what does Mikey have? I'm wondering. I'm thinking that some of these kids coming up, they're gonna be able to give Mikey. Gabriel gave Mikey one of the hardest matches we've seen, and he was just defending. So I'm wondering, how Pato, how Baby Shark, bro, Baby Shark might get through that guard, bro. Baby Shark can survive Pato, and Pato's stronger than Mikey. I want to see these matchups, man. I want to see these matchups, Mikey. Stop ducking these dudes and get these matches on the way. I don't care if they're using supplements. You go fight those guys, Mikey. He need to do it for the culture. He need to do the matches for us. What is that? We're talking about UFC BJJ a lot today, guys. So, what is this? We got Rahadi Ferguson.
Earth, where you can willingly give up the high ground and still be rewarded for it. It's quite ridiculous.
You're not happy about jiu-jitsu.
That's not just bad strategy. That's anti-combat. And it's 100% antithetical to the art of war, which teaches the best ground is the high ground. Now, the viewership world of grappling does not want to see people sit down on the ground. They just don't. Why? Because in every other legitimate grappling sport, you have to earn your way to the mat. In Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling, you sit, you lose. In judo, you drop to the mat without intent. There's a penalty, a shido. In sambo and karate, they'll restart you or throw you out if you keep doing it. In sandai and chido aba, you engage upright like a fighter. Combat sports around the world respect the high ground. They build their systems around controlling and taking the ground, not giving it away like a Groupon. But in modern day BJJ, you can sit down, disengage, and call it tactics. You can assume an advantageous position without any takedown, left, or throw. That's not tactics. That's a glitch in the matrix. And people are catching on. That's why viewership will tank over a period of time with butt flop exchanges, where two black belts scoot around like toddlers on hardwood floor. Listen, if you believe that grappling should be fought from the feet down, not the ground up, drop a comment below. Do you think guard pulling should come with a deduction like in sambo or Aikido and judo? Or are you cool with BJJ staying the only sport where ground control starts from a seated position? Let's talk about it. Because if we want grappling in total to grow, we've got to stop rewarding the retreat. We have to stop rewarding things that people did not rightfully earn. This is not only a problem in our sport, but also a problem in society. Let's do the hard stuff. Let's learn it the right way. And let's take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu back to its original roots, which is judo. BJJ is the only grappling art.
What you guys think about that, huh? What you guys think? Should we not be butt flopping? I mean, listen, the rules, we following the rules. I wish we could do takedowns. Sometimes you can't take someone down. Sometimes you can't take people down. So you telling me I gotta stand up with wrestlers, NCAA wrestlers? We saw what happened when Jason Ulf went for that takedown. What happened when he went for that takedown? He got fucked. He got messed up. You want that to be us, Roddy Ferguson? Listen, man, I like takedowns, but you see what happens. You're over here, you're going to get choked out, get your arm turned off, your leg going to get caught, your back going to get taken. You might trip going in that bowl, go for that takedown in that bowl, you trip. That's it. The match over. You end up on that ground. And you know what? None of them grappling arts is perfect, We the only grappling art where you can do everything from judo, everything from wrestling, everything from sambo, all the Nawaza techniques. We can do everything. And that's the culmination of all that stuff. That's what it looks like, me pulling guard. All that technique from all those different art forms, we pull and guard. That's the evolution of it. I don't know what it is. Well, you guys, you know what you guys do? You guys get your UFC judo. You get your UFC wrestling. Why don't you guys got no UFC wrestling, no UFC judo? Why don't you guys got no CJI for wrestling, CJI for judo, CJI for sambo? Huh? Why don't you guys have that already? Huh? Listen, we can argue all day, but the results, jiu-jitsu popular. It's because we don't do takedowns. That's why we popular. We popular because we don't do takedowns. Takedowns too hard. My knees hurt. I don't want to take nobody down. I don't want to get thrown on the hard floor. I don't want to be thrown on that bowl. Don't throw me on that bowl. So I don't know what else to say, man. Listen, jiu-jitsu's popular because we don't do takedowns. That's why we so popular. That's why we on the UFC. That's why we on the CJI. That's why we got ADCC. That's why we got all this stuff. What does judo have? They got the Olympics. Cool. Awesome. They always about to get kicked out of the Olympics though. And the Olympics, the most corrupt organization out there next to FIFA. I complain about UFC, but I'm sure the Olympics way more. What kind of stuff they've done? FIFA and Olympics. People died to create those venues and to set up those events, and people starved and got displaced. As far as I know, nobody ever got displaced for a UFC. Now, if somebody somebody might have been, taken out because of UFC, some betting or something. I don't know. Jason says when Mikey was in the gi, he was so much better to watch. He had more variety. Now it's just boring leg attacks. He is unwatchable now. What happened? Yeah, I felt like Mikey was very predictable. Like he's really good because of his in the gi. He was super great. He was doing amazing. No gi, he's very predictable. Everybody's doing the same stuff in no gi. His body type makes it harder to deal with. He can always get inside position. He's got them little legs. But I felt like, man, listen, the things that Pato, Baby Shark, and some of these other dudes are doing, like, man, they're going to give Mikey getting old, too. Mikey getting older. Pato grab his leg. If Pato able to grab Mikey's leg, that thing going to come off, bro. For sure, that leg going to come off. So I want to see those matches. That's the matches I want to see UFC BJJ. Come on, Claudia, get on the phone with those Brazilians. We can tell them to skip USADA. We don't need USADA in UFC. Now, when I'm fighting, I need USADA. But when they're fighting, they don't need USADA. Alexander, what's going on, bro? He says, everyone wants to change the rules of BJJ. We fight on the ground, whether we are on top or bottom. If you don't like it, go do another martial art. I mean, man, we do what's effective. I can't win a match if I'm doing takedowns only. Some of these guards, we can't pass the guard. The guards are too good. The guards are too advanced. We can't pass some of these guards. So we got to play double guard pull. We got to play advantages, penalties. It's so hard to score in jiu-jitsu, bro. Like, man, it's super hard. The last match I had went to advantages. Like, I'm doing my best the whole time. I'm like trying stuff. They don't give you nothing in jiu-jitsu, bro. And I think instead of trying to change jiu-jitsu to what he wants or what judo wants or what wrestling wants, they need to just accept it. It's a different art form. We've been separated from judo for, I don't know, 100-something years. It's different. We're still related. We still got the same techniques, but we're a little bit different out here, man. A little bit more autistic. The problem with guard pulling in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, unpopular truth. BJJ is the only grappling sport in the world where you can sit down and give up the high ground. Kosen Judo as well, I believe. And still be rewarded for it. That's not strategy. That's anti-combat. And it's antithetical. I can't say that word. I can't talk right now. Yeah, antithetical. I can't speak right now, guys. It's not what you would have read from The Art of War, which clearly states the best ground is the high ground. Every real grappling sport makes you earn your way to the mat. Judo, drop without intent. Shido. Greco and freestyle, sit down, you lose position. But in BJJ, you plop down and go fishing for grips. No throw, no takedowns. We trying to get to the good stuff. We ain't got time to sit there and I guess he forgot the match where the two guys were just going for takedowns. Costello and not Costello. What are those guys' names? Pimento and the other guy. They were just going for takedowns the whole time. Everybody was bored. At least with Mikey going over there trying to break someone's leg, that's exciting. I mean, for not for the guy getting his leg broken, but for the people watching. Someone says, a lot of great things said here. Well, it's totally different rule set. Now you know me. Now you know me, and I'm in avid favor of top players. However, pulling guard is not rewarded, but a tactic where an athlete that is not dominant can cause superior damage if she has superior Newaza techniques. Exactly. This is a combat martial art and should start on the feet to try and get a dominant position. No, it's a sport that's based off of combat art. Same thing with wrestling, same thing with judo. The issue of saying it's not combat related, where do you draw the line between self-defense and combat and sport? Because I could be like, well, I can't poke you in the eye, I can't kick you in the balls. Well, it's not a real combat art then. There's no limit. Well, in the real combat, I would have a knife. I'm gonna have a gun. It's like you can always escalate it. So, just think of it as a sport. It's fun. It's entertaining. And listen, bro, they making money, bro. What about my judo folks? You guys making money over there? You guys, who's paying you? USJF is the USAJF Judo Federation paying you guys? I don't think so. I mean, UFC ain't paying them too much either, but it's better than nothing. They getting some more notoriety. They getting some promotion. When's the last time USA Judo promoted somebody? And their biggest stars, where their biggest stars at? Where did Ronda Rousey go after judo? She went to MMA, UFC. Where Kayla Harrison at? UFC. Why can't USA Judo keep their athletes? Why they got to go fight MMA and not make enough money through the art that they love, huh? Why can't they make $1 million doing judo? Somebody ask me that. Answer me those questions. Why Kayla Harrison got to go over here and destroy other girls? She should be a millionaire from judo. She should have just stayed in judo. She should have had the ability to stay in judo, make a great living, and push the sport in America. USA Judo, I don't know, man. Hey, I don't want to attack the judo people. They come after me. I'm going to pull guard on them too. Yo, judo people, come for me. I'm going to pull guard. Let's see your judo techniques. We're going straight to Newaza. That's the whole issue. You want to do your throws. I'm saying, no, we doing Newaza. I kind of dictate the fighting location. It says, that's not tactics. That's a glitch in the Matrix. That's a barb, doctor. I love the ground fighting. The glitch came in mid-2010s when sub only came without points and penalties. Yeah, no point doing takedowns and sub only. Trying to get submissions only. How are you going to get submission from standing, really? Well, I guess you could jump for a run. Guard pulling is one thing, but to start from a no-reach zone and sit and scoot into grappling is the major problem. No-gi became a place where you did this to hunt the legs. The next thing is fight promotions attempting to reward this by giving it a platform for this style of BJJ. I do not believe that this is what will bring more people into the practice. None of this stuff I don't care if it's judo. It ain't gonna bring people. Judo don't get numbers. Wrestling don't get numbers. Jiu-jitsu, we got about 800, 7,000. What's the numbers on the UFC? I'll pull that up real fast for you. We're gonna pull up the numbers for you guys. Duplicate. Okay, so it's been 12 hours ago. They got 773,000 views. Is wrestling doing that kind of number? Is judo doing that kind of numbers? I don't think so. When the last judo worlds? What's judo? What's something judo related? They ain't doing numbers like that. Come on, guys. They ain't doing numbers like that. Alexander says wrestling and judo teach going belly down so people can't score on them. Am I confused? Yeah, you go belly down, you get choked out. You leave your neck out, you get choked out. You get your back taken, choked out, neck out, choked out, arm barred. Bro, listen, what they know we doing different stuff, right? We doing different stuff out here, man. We ain't doing judo. We ain't wrestling. Now, you guys, if you want to come over and show how effective wrestling and judo are, go ahead. You're going to fight Mikey Musumeci. He's going to pull guard. He's going to pull your leg off. What else? Listen, we do what's effective. We don't have a choice. Says the viewership of the world doesn't want to see grappling either. That's true. They want to see blood, knockouts, and slams and scrambles. I watched UFC BJJ last night. Mikey's very talented. His style isn't going to draw new fans. Late people want to see takedown subs. Well, I'm going to be honest. The people watching the videos, those are people that are in jiu-jitsu. About 1 million people. We got about 1 million, maybe 2 million. Let's say 1 million people doing jiu-jitsu. 10% of those competing, 100,000 people competing. So, that's the viewership. It's from jiu-jitsu people. Now, wrestling, where's your big events? You guys got Wrath, Real American Freestyle coming out with Hulk Hogan. He got you guys. You got Claw, Champions League American Wrestling coming out too. So you guys need to support your stuff. I'm not saying I support UFC BJJ, but I caught a couple matches. I've been covering this thing for a little bit, so you guys go. Listen, man, jiu-jitsu people, we don't be. I talk about wrestling, but jiu-jitsu people don't know about wrestling. They don't know about judo. They don't care about those things. They focus on what they focus on. It's only judo and not really wrestling. Jiu-jitsu and wrestling, we like this now. Jiu-jitsu and judo, we used to be like this. Now we like this. Jiu-jitsu and wrestling, we together now. Judo can keep attacking us. I don't know if they jealous or what. They can keep attacking us. But listen, when we got $1 million on the line, you do whatever it takes to make that $1 million. You understand that, right, Howdy Ferguson? $1 million on the line, you better pull guard. If you got submissions, you better pull the guard. I'm on board because I'm old school, but an argument that claims the high ground is the best ground cannot be made while still claiming that pulling guard is an advantageous position. That is unearned. Again, I'm anti-butt scooting, but guard pulling into direct action is not the same. I think the guard pulling should be an advantage to the top player. It is an advantage to the top player in other organizations, but if a player pulled directly to sweep, it should be treated as a takedown. So, I ain't arguing. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. If that's pulling guard, pull guard. If that's playing on top, play on top. We fight to the rules. We fight to win. You think we care? I don't care if I got to do a takedown or sweep or whatever I got to do to win. I'm going to do that to win. Shout out to my girls, Polaris girls. They over here doing it. What's up, girls? I'm a big supporter of female jiu-jitsu and, female wrestling and female judo. I don't follow judo as closely as I do the other two, though. We got the girls over here. We got Team Europe and then Team USA over here. So we'll see how they do. This is going to be on 28th. What's 28th, guys? 25th today? 26th? Saturday. Remember, they in the UK, so 6 hours ahead. So probably our afternoon, they're going to be fighting. So if you guys want to support that, go ahead. I can't cover some of these. I can't cover UFC BJJ matches. I get hit with copyright strike. I can't cover Polaris. I get hit with copyright strike. So nothing I can do about that. They're not cool with me. So should be some good matches, man. Support the females. They're gonna have some dudes on there too. The undercard. Got Mikey over here crying. I don't know why. Why is Mikey crying? He beat a dude that never trained Nogi before. I mean, what was supposed to happen, Mikey? Were you supposed to lose? Mikey, you were just trying to break the guy's leg the whole match. You knew you were winning. So Mikey's very emotional. I mean, he knew he was gonna win. Should you cry when you know you're gonna win? If I'm fighting a blue belt and I beat the blue belt, should I be crying that I won? I think that's expected. But shout out to Mikey. He did a good job. He fought a dude that just started Nogi last week. So I mean, I don't know what else to say. Was he ever a threat? Was the competition ever really a threat, Mikey? No. So we need to see Mikey fight some dudes that can take it to him. We'll see, man. I'm afraid Mikey gonna just get too old and then he won't fight those young guys. Congrats, Mikey. Yeah. I mean, I'm sounding like a hater, but did he really accomplish anything? He beat a dude that just started Nogi last week. Had no wrestling, nothing.
I'm not cheer anyone. Oh, did you want to knock that? No? You get your acai bowl down there. What a graph.
So Krikorian won. He's supposed to be famous now. Is he famous? Is he famous yet? So again, I think all the views, all that million views, that's from just jiu-jitsu people. Maybe small percentage of UFC people. So I mean, it's not terrible. It's good. 1 million views. That's not bad. CGI got like 2 million, 4 million, something. I don't know. So 1 million views, not bad. It's not Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast get 200 million views on some videos. So that's when you're popular. When you're getting 400, 200, 100, 200, 300 million views, you're doing good. 1 million is not bad though. I mean, I would take 1 million. I ain't got no videos with 1 million views. We're just in a niche sport. Someone said, "This is gold. This is gold. Don't stop." Dude wins one match and spends his money on a gold chain. We really lost him to fame and fortune. Yep. I don't know if that's real. They will be upset when they see me with the autographed Keith poster when he becomes the UFC champion. Jason says, "Shout out to Mikey's girlfriend who made an appearance after his match. I gave it a standing ovation." Yo, my homeboy thought that was Tammy. My homeboy thought that was Tammy. I was like, bro, get out of here with that. Mikey, I don't know if Mikey would kiss his sister like that. Maybe that was Tammy. Jason, that wasn't his girlfriend. That was Tammy. They just really close. That's all. I'm joking. That girl. I hope she's not a gold digger. I hope she, Mikey, don't run this one off, Mikey. He already ran a girl off before. We'll see how long this girl lasts. Mikey don't seem like he can hold a relationship. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see, man. I don't know. Mikey might jump teams like he jump girls like he jump teams. So here's Keith. I don't know who the guy he fought was. I have no clue. I have no clue. I don't have a clue. Most people can say the same thing about me. They can be like, I don't know any guys. Can't play the music. Oh, that's him getting the tap. So he did well. I don't know who that guy is. Was that guy a black belt or blue belt? I have no idea. But shout out to Keith. He had a good match. He's a tough guy. Yeah, I have no idea who he fought though. I have no idea. But good shout out to him, man. We all need to win every now and again. Shout out to Tackett. Tackett went and took the win. He been on a good tear lately. Is that the Rotullo team? Tackett's doing well. I just hope I hate that belt. I hope he does okay in the UFC. I could be hating, but we'll see. We'll see how they do. I hate that belt though. He always wanted to be in the UFC. Possibly he wants to fight in the UFC. So this might be a good move for him. But most people aren't Tackett, right? Most people aren't showmen. They can't go out there and win and submit their opponent. So we'll see how he does. Just remember the UFC will use you up and they'll get rid of you. Kind of reminds me of Sage Northcutt a little bit. Remember Sage Northcutt, guys? Remember that guy? Let me pull up a picture for you guys. I don't know if you remember him. He basically like Tackett, a blonde-haired Texas kid. You guys remember this dude? Tackett before Tackett. He's super Tackett, actually. He better than Tackett. Sorry, Tackett. Tackett don't look like that, does he? Nah. Tackett be talking about his hair, but he ain't got no hair like that. No, did he? Tackett don't look like that. But you know what happened to Sage Northcutt? Let's go to Wikipedia real fast. He's still young. Oh, he's 29. Northcutt was featured in the debut episode of Dana White's Looking for a Fight. After a victory at Legacy Fighting Championship 44, he was signed to UFC. He made his UFC debut, and he won by technical knockout. Second fight, he won by guillotine. And then he was supposed to fight, but somebody withdrew, and he lost that match by submission. He made a return to lightweight, and he won that one. He had another fight, but he lost via submission in the second round. So my man couldn't defend those submissions. He was in UFC for a good minute. Why did he get cut though? Oh, so his contract expired and he was a free agent. So it says Dana White confirmed 2018 that UFC did not opt to renew Sage Northcutt's contract. Cited reasons claiming Sage is young, Sage needs some work. What do you mean he needed work? He was already doing well. Let him get some work in other organizations, and we'll see where this kid ends up in a few years. Probably didn't get paid enough. So you know, I'm looking outside looking in. I'm looking at Tackett reminds me of Sage Northcutt. How did the UFC treat Sage Northcutt? He was a decent fighter. Lost a couple matches by decision, by a submission, but he was a decent fighter. What was his record? It doesn't say. He's at 15 wins and 3 losses. 12 wins, 3 losses. Is that a bad record, guys? Some of the UFC champions got worse records than that. But yeah, he ended up getting cut. So, you know, I'm just thinking, hey, look, looking ahead, everything seems amazing. Rose-colored glasses. But what could possibly happen to you? You might become Sage Northcutt. And they just cut you when you ask for more money eventually from Daddy Dana. So just keep that in mind, man. You know, don't trust Dana White. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't use the excuse of being young and dumb anymore. You got too much information at your fingertips. Shout out to Cassia Mora. She did really well. No no-gi training. Went out there and did well. I wish she had done better at Worlds. You know, the referees kind of screwed her over, but she did good, man. We also had PGF. PGF was kind of flying under the radar. They had their draft day. Shout out to Alex. What's up, girl? She one of the best in the business. I got my little struggle stream, but she got some connections. I don't have connections, guys. I'm over here in the basement. Over here live streaming in the basement over here. We ain't got no connections. We grassroots. Let's see the teams real fast. I don't know how the teams work, but it seems like they have one dude that's in charge of the team. You got Team Varela, and I don't know who's on Team Varela. Team Canuto. I don't know who's on Team Canuto. Is that Brady? No way. Is that Brady? Let me text my friend real fast. Let me see. Is that Brady over there? Sorry, guys. I think I see. Yo, is that homeboy over there? Uh, this is a real. We live, bro. I gotta update people sometimes. I don't know who's on Team Canuto. Team Drysdale. Why is Drysdale? Why he out there? He ain't competing, is he? He too old, man. Get Drysdale out of there. Go make another book. Go write another book, Drysdale. I like Drysdale. He can never pass that USADA test though. I like Drysdale. You can't come after me if it's true though, right? If it's true, you shouldn't be able to come after me, man. I'm gonna look it up real fast too. I want no defamation suit on me. It's not defamation if it's true. You guys know I be going to USADA all the time. I be checking USADA. Hey, is this Brazilian guy on some stuff? I need to drop on that Drysdale. Is that how you spell his name? I don't know if I spelled his name right or wrong. I'm pretty sure he hit, guys. Let me check for sure. How do you spell Drysdale's name though? Oh, there we go. ESPN. Well, PGF don't test, but it's good to know who got popped before. Says UFC fighters Robert Drysdale and Kevin Casey, both jiu-jitsu black belts, and that's a Hickson black belt. Each face a likely suspension and fine for failed drug tests following their respective bouts earlier this month in Nevada. This is from 2014. Drysdale 7-0. He beat Marcelo too, but that's jiu-jitsu. He produced an elevated testosterone to epitestosterone ratio 12-1. Casey 9-3, who won a first round knockout. Both fighters been temporarily suspended from competition and informed of their positive tests. Violated the UFC fighter conduct policy. There you go. Drysdale 33 was denied a license to compete in the state of Nevada. Alrighty, so I don't mind Drysdale, but it is a fact he popped, right? You guys believe me? Team Drysdale, I don't know anybody on there. That's just me, though. I don't know everybody. Where are the other teams at? Oh, there's one more team on there. Team Sipley. I don't know anybody on that team. So Alex says, PGF draft day in the books. Legendary coaches did their homework on these 20 lightweights and put together some great teams. I don't know if we'll see how well they did. Team Canuto is going to win. I know what coach didn't pick the winning team, Kanato Canuto. Who did Canuto pick? I don't know. Let's go. I'll try to keep you guys updated on PGF. I don't really understand the whole draft, yada yada stuff, but maybe it'll work out. We got Craig Jones. He's working with some of the fighters. Aspinall. Unfortunately, I got some news that Craig Jones can't go to the UFC. He can't referee. He can't be in the coach's corner at the UFC anymore. We're gonna show you guys why. But he can still work with the UFC fighters, but he just can't be in the coaching. The ringside. So he's showing some Octopus stuff. What you got from Octopus over here? Bro, I tried Octopus at the ADCC Open. Everybody know how to counter it now. So watch out trying to do Octopus and Rao drags. If you're trying to do the modern no-gi meta now, you got to be careful, bro. They're gonna. There's ways to spam that stuff, defend that stuff now. White belts. This is for my white belts out there. This is how you guys be rolling. I hope there's no music. There might be. Internet's going slow, guys. Sorry. I don't know what's going on. Got some people messaging me while I'm trying to live stream. You guys know I'm live streaming? Why are you trying to message me when I'm live streaming, guys? It's going slow. Can I move it over? Maybe we can watch something else instead. We got Roberto. He's doing Who's Number One. He's fighting. Who is Roberto fighting? I don't remember. He's also doing Aiga. Can't play the music. I don't know who's the marketing person. They didn't do a good job, did they? They got some of the best athletes out there. Is Roberto's arm healed up? They got some of the best athletes out there, and yeah, they got some really good athletes out there, and there's Junie over there. They just they didn't really promote it. They also got $1 million on the line out there. But you wouldn't be able to guess it because they don't market it well. So we'll see, man. Good luck to everybody out there. Just don't get injured. The worst thing is you don't win and you get injured. So, just be careful, guys. Was Elijah Dorsey out there? You got Dorian. Is that in Kazakhstan? I believe it's in Kazakhstan. So I want to make it out there one day. Hopefully one day I'll get out there. John Jones. What we got to talk about John Jones again?
John Jones' position. This is the very, very difficult things that I don't think a lot of people understand is George St. Pierre left where people went, oh, he still has some left. And he left and he kept himself and he kept that brand intact. Khabib Nurmagomedov left as the champion. Everything that you do is you're still the champion. Do I want to risk it one more time, potentially lose and not be saw as invincible anymore? Or do I just bow out, still be able to get those brand deals and all of those things because I am invincible? I mean, honestly, I'm not mad at John Jones. Neither am I, dude. If anything, kudos to him, dude. I'm actually proud of him. Khabib could have kept going. George St. Pierre had the ability to defend his belt. John Jones, he defended his belts. He's defended his light heavyweight title. A crazy amount of numbers. Like, bro, just let it be. What would you do if you're in John Jones' position? This is the very, very difficult.
Yeah, we talked about John Jones. He gone now. He retired. So, he's still in trouble. So he's not fully retired. I don't really want to cover John Jones anymore, to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm a fan of his fighting, but not a fan of him as a person. So we had Final X a couple weeks ago, same day as Jersey Open, so I couldn't go. But it says they raised $1 million. Shout out to wrestling, bro. Congrats, bro. Good work, wrestlers. Says thank you for everyone who made the Beat the Streets annual benefit Final X an incredible success. Together, we're empowering New York youth on and off the mat. So, wrestling is really popular here in New York, New Jersey, PA. So, having organizations like Beat the Streets is really beneficial. It helps, kids that can't afford to get into wrestling, get into wrestling. You got to get the shoes, the workout gear, the travel fees, whatever they got to do. They also have these Beat the Street centers where kids can go and wrestle. So I'm hoping that Beat the Streets grows more. Jiu-jitsu is so financially driven. That's one thing I don't like. One of the things I don't like about jiu-jitsu is so financially driven, and it's really expensive. Most of these schools, $100, $150, $200, $280. You want to go train with the best people in the world, $280. So it doesn't matter how talented you are. Sometimes they'll bring some Brazilian kids over, But say you're an American kid or something, you can't afford $200. You can't afford $150. You can't afford $100. Parents not gonna put that up for kids to do jiu-jitsu. So I would like to see. I would love to do something like that. I would love to partner with Beat the Streets in the future. Maybe the live stream will blow up one day. We can do more good. But I do see a big need for more accessible jiu-jitsu, especially for the kids. Just to get started training, the uniforms cost so much money. $100 for a uniform. The rash guard costs $100 for the rash guard. The short costs $100. And then it's just tough. Is the video playing yet? Hey, I don't want to play. I'm gonna skip it. Charles Oliveira, what are you doing?
Retrata os atletas. Esse é o caminho.
Talking about UFC BJJ, Carlos Henrique over there. He had to cut a lot of weight too. He did well, man. Jason says, "Yep, all the Final X money is going to a good cause. Kyle Snyder's defense team." Pants down, single it out. Kyle Snyder. I came up with that. Nobody stole that. That's me. I said that first. Pants down, single it out. Probably a good thing I didn't go to Final X. I would have been heckling him. They would have kicked me out of there. But yeah, at least wrestling. I like wrestling because it can get expensive with the clinics and stuff, wrestling academies. But overall, it's like more accessible sport. I mean, if you don't have money, you think you're gonna do jiu-jitsu or wrestling. You're probably gonna have to do wrestling, If you don't have no money, it's gonna be cheaper. The coaches usually just volunteer. Most of those wrestling coaches in high school volunteering. They just want to give back. Nobody in jiu-jitsu really volunteering. We always talking about money, profit, blah blah blah. Man, I need more money, man. The people that own the schools always hounding you for mat fees and other fees. So it is. I wish it was more like wrestling. JH says they should have the big companies come to YMCA and Boys and Girls Clubs to teach BJJ to kids and donate products to them to keep the kids wanting to stay in BJJ. That's true. But because jiu-jitsu is such a, it is a niche sport, but it's such a, it's not like, there's not like a club system. It's not like a real federation system. So everybody's out for themselves. They're just trying to make money for themselves. They don't really give back. So that's one thing I like about wrestling. It's always about giving back to the youth. JB, we need to find JB. JB always talking about the kids. I mean, he got a lot of kids too, but he's always talking about how to help the kids, being a role model. You ain't heard none of the jiu-jitsu people talk about that. You ain't going to hear Craig Jones, Gordon Ryan, Mikey, whoever you think is good at jiu-jitsu, they ain't thinking about kids. They ain't thinking about the growth. Well, Craig Jones thinking about the growth of the sport, but they ain't thinking about the impressionable youth watching them. So yeah, we're gonna look at JB. So talking about wrestling, we got Team USA joined by top talent from Croatia, Georgia, and Ukraine at the Greco-Roman Senior National Team Camp. And judo too. Judo's usually run like a club. Is usually cheaper too. They not trying to make a lot of money from teaching. They usually trying to give back. Same thing with wrestling. Jiu-jitsu, the only grappling sport where we're trying to charge nickel and dime people. Man, where's that mat fee, man? Man, you got to pay, man. That's something I learned from my years of training. Everybody's got to pay, man. So it's all about money. It's all about clout. It's all about attention. It's all about the wrong stuff. Kai Kara France, I want to say volunteers. Who's that? Okay, that's one person that you name one person that volunteers. And most of the wrestling coaches all throughout America, I don't know how many wrestling programs there are in America, but there's a lot of them. Most of those coaches just donating their time, coming out of their own pocket. Pause on that, how I said that. They got to come out of their own wallet. They got to open up their own wallet to get kids food and give them rides to play to the clinics and the wrestling duel meets and wrestle offs. UFC fighter in Australia. We're talking about America right now. Okay, that's one person in Australia that gives, donates their volunteers. But once you come to America, everywhere else they could be nice. They don't. You go to Europe, they don't charge you arm and leg usually. Maybe UK will, but everywhere else, pretty reasonable pricing. When I lived in Sweden, we had the most expensive gym at $60 a month. And then the government gives, different benefits to the kids. They give a lot of money for the kids to train and work out. It's only in America where the kids pay as much as the adults. You're paying for everything. You got to wear a uniform you hate. You got to pay for the uniform. You got to pay for the tuition at the gym. You got to pay for the belt test. So that's very American. But shout out to these guys. They over here. Look at that, man. It's all about building connections, They all just love wrestling. Some of these guys ain't making no money from wrestling. They just love it, man. They as good as Gordon Ryan or Craig Jones in wrestling, but they just doing it because they love it. It's in their blood. JH says, time costs nothing. Honestly, if I was any good at these sports, I'd donate time for sure because I made it already. I'm trying to put people on to keep children out of gangs in trouble. That's true. That is true, man. You can help a lot of people with jiu-jitsu, but when it's behind that paywall, that $200 tuition fee, you only helping the rich kids. You can't help the kids that actually need the jiu-jitsu. All them autistic kids over here, that need jiu-jitsu but can't afford it. This is pretty sad, actually. This is Sexy Yama. If you guys follow any Korean news media, he one of the most popular influencers out there, but he shouldn't be fighting, man. He's too old to be fighting. This is bad, Was that one championship? One championship will let you die out there. Chattery said you can die out there. So that's pretty sad, man. I hate to see this. Hate to see the old dudes out here fighting young guys like this getting it rocked. He need to be enjoying himself. Oof, that was bad. That was not good. He too old to be out there like that. He too old. He got to be in his 40s, late 40s probably. That's bad, man. Let's see how old Sexy Yama is. He too old to be out there like that, though. That's elder abuse, man. He 49 years old. He born in 1975. He shouldn't be out there. Yeah, he about to be 50. He about to be 50 years old. He out there fighting. Man, Sexy Yama, if you don't take your butt out of there, bro, get out of there, man. Bro trying to be the Brett Favre of kickboxing. Well, they ain't no Brett Favre of kickboxing. I like these little videos. Whenever you fall down, you got the IBJJF referee to award you points or take away points or whatever. So homegirl, she trying to get up on the podium. She got first place, not knowing that the IBJJF ref is right there waiting. 2. I got some M&Ms, guys. Don't judge me. We streaming late today. I don't want to read that. Got another Team Kasai over here. How many of these dudes popped? Kynan definitely popped. Some of these other guys should pop. We got some good guys over here. Got some New Yorkers. Got Mateus Lutez. You got Mateus Denise. You got Junie. Big Breakfast from Maryland. Pato trained in New York for a while. Homeboy Roberto, he trained in New York too. He trained with Unity. So shout out to these guys. You know, they enjoying themselves. You know, they out here with the Kansai guy. Enjoying themselves, you know. $1 million on the line. I'm pretty sure it's money laundering, but, you know, whatever. Jessica Corian over there. We also already saw that. He won his match. Might not be on too long. We got Alliance Huntington Beach. I know I can't afford to. Well, I wouldn't go there anyway, but I can't afford to even walk in there. That Alliance school in UK, 280 euros. I know I can't afford to be up in there. They're going to get you for $300 a month. You guys paying $300 a month, $350? Go ahead. You will have Fabio Gurgel and Michael Lengi. Aren't they kind of retired though? And that building looks great, but they right next to Target, which actually is not bad. You know, if you need some groceries, you run over to Target real fast. My only issue, their partner is a purple belt, dude. He a purple belt. Whenever you partner up with a purple belt, it usually don't work out too well.
Beach, pretty exciting news. We actually have a new location opening up. For those of you that don't know, I have two locations.
Oh, he owns Alliance San Diego. This dude just got money, bro. You know, whenever I've been in these situations, whenever you partner with these guys with money, when they don't get their way, they gonna get rid of you, even if you Fabio Gurgel. I don't know, man. I don't know. This guy just got a lot of money. He just, I think he owns Alliance San Diego, and now he's got the Alliance Huntington Beach. I just, you know, whenever it's a rich dude, didn't we learn our lesson from Fox? Look, Target, I need some groceries. Got the CVS. What else over there? Got some donuts places over there. Whenever you partner up with these rich dudes, it don't really work out, man. It's usually something not going to work. I'm speaking from experience, you know. I don't work with no rich people no more like that. I learned my lesson a couple times, actually. If you want to spend a lot of money, go train there. But if you want to find some good jiu-jitsu, there's other people. Go to Checkmat. Go to Checkmat. You guys want some good jiu-jitsu? Go to Checkmat. And probably gonna be cheaper. You're gonna have world-class training partners: Jansen Gomez, Leo Vieta, Buchecha. Go to Checkmat, Matt. If you in Huntington Beach, guys, find somebody else, man. Unless you want to spend all your money. Yeah, whenever they partner up with the rich dude, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, that don't work out too well. JH says they're trying to make that mat cost back. Yeah. They could get you 2-inch foam floor from Home Depot, some wood for framing. Yeah, some tatami puzzle mats. Nah, bro, that build out. They do this a lot. That build out might be $200,000, $300,000, $100,000 at least. The build out that they do, the studio space costs a lot too. They're gonna charge you the all the money coming down, all the expenses coming down to your pocket. You paying $300, $350. You close to the beach, you paying for that. You paying $400. And they're gonna get you with the amenities. Oh well, we got the cold plunge. Bro, the mat might be, yeah, the $5,000 for the floor. They got the bathroom. They did the bathroom. They painted. They used the expensive paint. They didn't use the white paint. They didn't use that cheap white paint. They got the off-white color. Man, they about to charge. They about to make a killing over there. They ain't charging me though. They got me before when I used to train Alliance, but hey, not no more. And you got a uniform. You got to wear expensive ass uniform. Rash guard. You paying for all of this. Look at that. Is that stonework? Is that marble? That furniture you paying for? That floating mat you paying for? Them bathrooms you paying for? That black ceiling that black painted on the ceiling you paying for? That bathroom, you got to pay for all that. Up them towels, you paying for that? Laundry service you paying for? Bro, they gonna guys, go to Checkmate, guys, if you're in Huntington Beach. Go train with Jansen Gomez and Leo Vieta. Is that the video? Yeah, I don't trust that. Jason says, you want to talk about crazy expensive, go to Gracie University HU in Torrance. Nope. They wouldn't let me in the door. They're like, sir, we don't recognize your black belt, Alec. I know you've been a black belt for 10 years, but we don't recognize it. I ain't going over there. We don't recognize your credentials. You got to start over at blue belt under our Gracie system. I'm over here learning the gift wrap. I already know the gift wrap. I already know that gift wrap technology. JH says that they need to watch HGTV or get one of those This Old House books. That's all you need to work on stuff yourself. Man, listen, man. Well, you know, they got some, they hired some poor Brazilians to do all the build out. We got Chris Wojcik. What is he talking about over here? Why do they call his move the trend lock? That's what I'm interested to know. Come on, man.
Of micro drilling, like just small movement.
There's music, micro drillings. I think that maybe eco stuff. If you're a casual practitioner, you're familiar with fundamentals, and you want to get to the next level faster, it's better to do some games. But like certain skills need to be drilled. Oh, you heard it from Chris Wojcik. You got to drill. I was doing something the other day. I was like, bro, you got to drill this. I was doing some kind of move. I don't know what move it was, but we were like, bro, we need to drill this actually. I don't know if it was something dangerous. It was something. It was something where people couldn't figure out. JH says plumbing, lighting, etc. All those books. My dad has some and taught me stuff. Hey, you good, man? You can build your own school, bro. We ain't got those skills no more in America, man. If you're in Australia, maybe. We ain't got no skills in America anymore, bro.
Paçoca. Chama.
Take it, brother.
Chama ou não chama?
Chama.
Calma aí. Chama. Paçoquinha. Paçoquinha pra mim? Pra você. Regalo pra mim?
What is it?
Paçoquita. Have you tried?
Damn, I love Masaka.
Is it zero? There's... Chama ou não chama? Pega, cara.
Chama. After waiting. Here.
Does homeboy speak? He speaks Portuguese. Taza. I don't get it. I'm a boomer though. I'm gonna try not to stay on too long, guys. I gotta get some lunch. We got a video coming out tomorrow. Hopefully, should be good on my main channel. A little documentary breakdown. You know how I do it, man. You guys know how I do it. JH says men ain't men no more. That's true. Guys wearing pearl necklaces looking like MGQ. Yep. We butt scooters over here, bro. We don't go for takedowns no more, as Rahadi Ferguson said. We be pulling guard. What is this world coming to? So if you looked at the thumbnail for this video, we got Liver King. We got a little bit of UFC BJJ. We got Liver King on here too. It says Liver King influencer arrested in Texas after threatening Joe Rogan. Oh. Brian Johnson, known online as Liver King, posted a series of threatening videos on his Instagram in the days before his arrest in Austin, Texas. So we'll look at that a little bit later. This is from Jailhouse Strong. It says a social media influencer was arrested on Tuesday. Was that like 2 days ago? After posting threatening messages directed to popular podcaster Joe Rogan. The Austin Police Department said in a statement that they arrested Brian Johnson after learning that he was traveling to Austin, where Rogan lives, and threatening the highly influential podcaster in a series of videos. Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name's Liver King. Man to man, I'm picking a fight with you. That you guys know I be doing voice work, right? At least just for my YouTube channel. Your rules. I'll come to you whenever you're ready. No diddy. We're gonna go to the Reddit story, guys. Don't worry, but just a little teaser for you guys. No diddy. A little teaser for you guys. You know, I hit the thumbnails, guys. Whoever on the thumbnail, I'm gonna hit the story on them. Got some team training over here. Got Team Kasai. They jet lag, guys. They over there in Kazakhstan. I want to go to Kazakhstan, but I want to go have fun and eat and ride horses and stuff when I go. I don't want to just train. So the only thing that sucks is that you got to be around all these dudes. I don't want to be around dudes when I'm on vacation, traveling the world. There's too many dudes. They over here getting in the way. No telling what they doing. I know they ain't bring their supplements over there. Yo, everybody looking underpowered over there. They ain't got no supplement. This reminds me of Kyle Dake. Can I bring the video up of Kyle Dake? Do you guys remember Kyle Dake? What Kyle Dake said at 2020 Olympics? Who else got a show like this on YouTube, man, or Twitch or anywhere? Does anybody else have a show like this? Because I would like to see that. Who else can keep you guys entertained for an hour or two every day? I want to see that. Maybe they could do a better job than me. They could definitely do a better job than me. Where's the video at? I'm looking. Let's see. I'm looking for it. We be researching on here. Who else be researching on YouTube like me? Real time. Anybody? I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. Anyway, he basically is like, well, I couldn't bring my supplements. He was like crying about he couldn't get his supplements. They might have taken it down. Is that it? Is that it?
For the ones keeping business in gear and always moving.
Kyle Dake, Olympic bronze medalist. How's it sound?
Good? Bad? Okay? All of the above? Not what we came for, but...
We'll watch a little bit of this, guys.
How satisfying is it that day 2, you looked awesome?
Yeah, it was satisfying, but it was kind of bittersweet too. Just, yeah, I wish I could have held up the same way in day 1. Yeah, it's tough to swallow.
Your quarterfinal match, as it's happening and it ends, everyone starts to, micro-analyze this match. Was it the cut? Was there an injury? Is there some limp going on? What was it? Was it just the match got out of control a little bit?
That's one of the most dominant positions ever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who I wrestle, whether it be Yanni, David, Gabe Dean, Kyle Snyder, Jordan Oliver, Jordan Burroughs, Jaden Cox. Like, it's the exact feeling. I don't even know what to call it, but he just like goes for so I felt it before. It's not like something new. And stand up there.
This is 2 or 4 minutes.
An overhook in those positions.
I'm gonna zoom through a little bit, guys.
I mean, Frank's always there, and
I'll zoom through him a little bit.
Times off of it, and analyze your performance out of your control.
What was figured out?
I just didn't have the right remedy that I needed coming over. Well, once I got here, I had a little something going on. And day 2, I figured it out though. We tried we tried a lot of different things. Doctors here were great, working with me and figuring it all out. But just
let's listen a little bit. Listen, guys, listen. Just listen to what he's saying. Context. We're gonna zoom back a little bit. I want you to listen. Listen to what he's saying. What was going on? He needed doctors. He's trying to find some doctors. What was he trying to get from the doctors over there in Japan? Huh? What was he trying to get? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out too. We're doing research. Research is very slow and boring, guys. Did you not know that?
I had a little something going on. And day 2, I figured it out though. We tried we tried a lot of different things. Doctors here were great, working with me and figuring it all out, but just took one day too long.
Got it. So I know I can tell you're not wanting to get into the specifics of what it was. Could you maybe process elimination? Was this weight related at all?
No.
I didn't think so. That makes sense.
My weight was good. I mean, I had biggest turn of your life. You're gonna have a good weight cut, So I come out first match. I feel fine. Feel fine from the weight cut. You can go back and watch the matches. What's the difference in the matches? Doesn't look like the same guy, and it didn't feel like the same guy. It stunk, and it stinks because you have one. It's one day, one freaking day. But, and I think it was full of lessons to be learned, and you take those lessons and you move forward. It's not, my life's not over because I didn't win a gold medal 2021 Tokyo. Goes on. Got the next best thing I could get, and get to go home, see my 2 girls, see my wife, see my family. Finally, I've been trapped inside the whole time.
Stuff that you do, a part of your routine. Does that make traveling overseas a huge challenge for you?
Not a huge challenge, it's a challenge.
That's it, guys. That's it, I think.
But usually we're able to adapt. This year's crazy. They're telling us what we can and can't bring in, and they're like, oh, they're going to steal all this stuff, and it has to be this specific way that it comes in. It can't be opened. It all has to be sealed. It has to be in original packaging. It has to be all this, and it's an extra stress you're trying to figure out. And so I'm like, well, what is like the bare minimum that I can get by? Because I don't want to lose all of my, like, I don't want to just go there and then have them confiscate everything that I have, because nobody would give us like a clear answer.
What did you have,
Because
bro?
nobody in Japan had a clear answer. And, people were coming in, they're like, oh yeah, it's taken 6 or 7 hours to get through the airport, through testing and all this stuff, and they're going through all your stuff and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, well, what do we got to do?
What stuff
and
did
then
you have,
everyone
bro?
was playing like super cautious, and looking back, we should have been pushing the envelope hard, way harder than we did. And little things, but little things add up over time.
And obviously those are things that help you, but also
What are they talking about? What's helping you?
Is it easy to just accept, move on, and like not let that impact your mindset? Knowing like maybe not as
What little
prepared
stuff
as
did he
I would
need
prefer
to
be.
help him win?
No,
What's he talking about?
If you can't win in imperfect circumstances, you're not good enough to win it. Like if it has to be perfect, like you got to get better. So if I needed to go out and win when things weren't perfect, and that's kind of the way I train. Like, okay, not everything's gonna be perfect. I want it to be perfect. I'm gonna do everything I can to make it that way because I want to control the variables that I can control. But if it doesn't work out, no big deal. Like you can fall back on who you were before you knew any of that stuff, and you can still.
Where were you with him? I mean, a lot of American fans were pretty caught off guard by how good he beat Chimizo too. Right? It wasn't just like crazy match against you.
I can't find exactly where he says he couldn't bring the supplements in, but they're using a lot of like, I don't want to say code words, but they're not. They're saying there's a conversation happening, and in context is the conversation that is kind of below that conversation. Like we're hearing the same stuff, but they're having like a secondary conversation, like, oh, well, couldn't bring everything in, and there is a better part to this. I just can't find it. But I'm just wondering what couldn't Kyle Dake bring in? I can't find it now. But what did he need that he couldn't bring into the country? That's what I'm wondering. I go compete. I might need some gels, like the carb gels or something. That's all I need. I can't bring that in. I'll find something else. I don't know what these guys. What are these guys using that they need? And we started talking about this because the Kansai guys. I was like, they can't bring in a lot of their supplements, so they're gonna be looking underpowered. We got a new matchup. We got Fornarino, Adele versus Jasmine Hosha. They had this match already. Happened at ADCC 2024. Fornarino, she put Jasmine away pretty handily, actually. So we'll see how this goes. I might be okay. I don't know. Jasmine, she couldn't make weight. Adele just fought in Fight Pass Invitational, FPI. So now she's over who's number one. Jasmine, she couldn't make weight last time, so she was in the hospital. So I don't know. She needs to take care of that weight cut first before she thinks about fighting. And it's going to be in Miami, Florida. Oh no. Adele, why are you going to that girl's hometown? Oh no. She going to set you up, bro. Don't compete in Miami, guys. If you're not from there.
What is up, guys?
Can't play that music. She got a deep voice though. No, is she on the family? She got the family secret. She on the family secret diet.
Division, two of the most outstanding women in the division, and we have a little bit of history.
Oh no, that voice sounding deep, guys. That voice is sounding deep. You guys know what that means, right? You guys know exactly what that means, don't you? I'm gonna hear her voice. If you can hear her voice. That voice sounding deep though, bro. Not much we can say, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry to break it to you. Yeah, that voice sounding deep. That's not good. Actually, that's pretty bad. Following in her father's footsteps. Talking about the girls, we got Arma BJJ in UK with Fion. So it says the founder's story. Meet the minds behind Arma. It says you got Luis and Jake founded Arma. What inspired us to create Arma? We wanted to create our dream gym, a place we'd love to come to every day to train, recover, and connect. Arma isn't just a gym, it's where top-tier facilities meet a supportive, like-minded community, all focused on health, fitness, and progression. So you guys going to be paying money for that. Expect 200 euros. The journey that brought us here, I don't want to speak, I don't read that. So that's the dudes. They're going to have Agan and Flanagan over there. They're going to have train with Europe's best jiu-jitsu coaches, enjoy luxury facilities. You're going to be paying a lot of money. That feel like a high-end hotel. Everything you need under one roof: training, recovery, coffee, food, and workspace. Our values: excellence in jiu-jitsu from day one to black belt. We take progression seriously. Respect and safety. A welcoming environment for all. Community first. Support on and off the mat. So that might be worth checking out. You know, don't go to Alliance UK, Alliance London for 280 euros. Go to Arma BJJ and you get Fion. And some others, people. But you're getting Fion. You gotta this looks cool. JH, we can't make that. We ain't no amount of YouTube gonna help me make that. What YouTube channel gonna help me design this and build it? Nope. I better outsource that. Get them contractors going. So, you know, this spot, you know, the Lions School, they just like, you know, we're Alliance, 15-time world champion. Who gonna be up there? Fabio be traveling. He retired. Michael Lange got how many schools? He kind of retired too. I don't know who's gonna be coaching over there. They might send some Alliance athletes, but they don't really have. There's no top end Alliance people no more, really. Like, who's the top Alliance people? They had nobody. Jalen Financier. He was the only Alliance person that made it to a final. Maybe Scooby. I don't think Scooby was Scooby in the finals, guys. They had one. Alliance didn't have no black belt females. They didn't in the finals. They didn't have no black belt adults except for Jalen, who's a Cobrinha guy. And there was Marcus Scooby. No other Alliance guys made it to the finals. I mean, they still won. They win at the lower belts, but I mean, we care about the black belts, bro. Shout out to Big Breakfast. He over here. He's showing the clip for when he won 2023 East Coast Trials. I guess we're alumni. Are we alumni? It has music. Shout out to Big Breakfast. He over there in Kazakhstan. I want to go to Kazakhstan. JH says, you have little faith, my guy. Little faith. I don't know. My guy, time is what you need, and a little cute interior designer. I bet you could do it. I don't need no cute interior designer. I need to stay away from that cute interior designer. I can't afford that cute interior designer. Had me twisted up. But yeah, we're getting to the point where your gym, you can't just have no regular schmegler gym no more. You can't have no puzzle mats no more. You can't have no tatami mats on the floor and they not be up high a little bit. You can't have no just plain white background paint on the wall. You gotta have the elevated platform mat. You gotta have the interior design on fleek. You gotta have the cold plunge, the hot plunge, sauna, red light, therapy, massage, towel service, laundry service, nice bathrooms. You got to have everything going on now. Back in my day, you just needed the mat and just hope it was clean. So if you got a school out there, there's more competition. You gotta step your game up, man. Facilities gotta be popping, you know? People want luxury amenities. I never thought amenities and jiu-jitsu would go together. Whoever thought you needed amenities to train jiu-jitsu? You need coffee, you need a workspace, you need Wi-Fi. So I'm not sure, you know, we're talking about all this crazy stuff, but then I'm over here saying the kids beat the street. We talking about beat the street. Over here donating. They don't even charge those kids to train and beat the streets. They donating so people can train. So you see kind of like jiu-jitsu and wrestling kind of are different in that regard. So, you know, the people that need jiu-jitsu the most, they can't afford jiu-jitsu. They can't afford 280 euros. They can't afford 200 euros a month. They can't afford 150 euros, 180 euros. So I don't know what the future is going to hold. You know, I do my little part making little videos. I don't charge nobody for them little videos no more. I wish I could. I don't have it's hard to do anything in America for free. You can't even get the spot for free. Maybe you can get into a rec center or something, but and then the uniforms cost a lot of money. Everything costs. It's crazy. JH says, I'm just not tall, so I have skill to make up for it. If you hang a TV, pictures on the wall, build basic stuff, you can get a girl these days. Depends on where you are. Sometimes. So this is why Craig Jones can't go to UFC no more. He not allowed at UFC no more.
This UFC BJJ very personal, but I wish that finale today all the success in the world. Obviously, they stole the pit, the rules, the judges, the staff, the blocking staff from working our event. But I hope the finale goes off with a bang today, and all you guys tune in to watch my ideas come to fruition on the UFC YouTube channel.
Fuck the UFC.
We're gonna watch that again. So understandable and very understandable that Craig Jones can't go to UFC no more. I completely understand Daddy Dana on that one. And I like Craig Jones, but I understand he's not allowed there no more. Definitely not with that rocket launcher. Jason Whitfield says, I don't know who I blame more for luxurious jiu-jitsu academies, AOJ or Gracie. The Gracie's always been bougie, but the AOJ, I don't know who designed AOJ. It looked like what kid want to be over there? Everything's white and marble. You fall at AOJ, you cooked, bro. You definitely gonna break your arm at AOJ. The bench is made out of cement or marble or something. That place is so uncomfortable. You know it's cold too. You know that's school of cold. You know, I like more of the grungy schools. You know, as long as the mat's clean, bathroom clean, you got some water, maybe a shower, I'm good, bro. You need the mat, water fountain, shower, bathroom, make sure it's clean. You good. You don't need all that cold plunge, sauna, infrared, red light, green light, blue light. It's wild out here, bro. You're going to be paying $500 a month in the future. And poor people can't even afford to walk in those places no more. If you're poor, you can't afford to walk into AOJ. You know you can't afford it. The first thing you see is a marble table. Marble office, glassed off office over there. Man, I'm gonna take my butt out of there, bro. So yeah, that's the future of jiu-jitsu right now. This is what you guys want. Craig says, tune in for the UFC. We watched it. Seth Daniel says, Craig Jones might want to rethink making threats on Instagram. Take it from me, buddy. He didn't make no threats. He just He just fired a. Is that making a threat? Firing a rocket launcher at a picture of somebody on a blow up doll? Actually, that might be a threat. Seth Daniel actually did threaten somebody. He did threaten somebody, like, I'll kill you, allegedly. Craig Jones says, Seth Daniels, haha, yours was serious. This is a sex doll. It is. Blow up doll. Should have said that. A mighty fine blow up doll if I could recommend one. Yeah, Seth Daniel, I don't mind Seth Daniel, but he definitely done said some stuff he shouldn't have said. Alex says, Dana White blow-up doll being blown up during International Fight Week was not on my bingo card. Well, leave it to Craig Jones. This is how we felt for years, getting ripped. So I'm kind of confused. Like, you basically stole a 10 athlete from ADCC. He didn't steal them athletes. He offered better conditions. He offered those guys $1 million. ADCC said you can make $10,000 if you win the whole thing. Craig Jones said, I'll pay you $10,001 just to show up. So, I mean, you do the math. You want $10,000 or you want $10,001? Bro, you can't even identify the correct fighters in your memes. Yeah, that might be a bot. Craig was fighting against athletes being treated poorly and trying to get the sport out of the mud by taking from the corrupt. The UFC is just a different version of corruption and a step backwards. Apples to oranges. Says, no, non-exclusive and we good. UFC is not letting their athletes compete at any events. That's the issue. ADCC athletes only left because they were the same weekend. The UFC show is not during CJI. They are just contractually not letting people compete or staff work there. They are trying to monopolize the sport for money. They don't care about actual BJJ. We saw that because of their ugly belt. They put that ugly belt. I was like, hey, you guys, Daddy Dana, you hold the ugly belt for me. I won't let them put that belt on me. They don't care about actual BJJ, and that's why they edit most of the matches out of their episodes. Says, so Mikey Musumeci can't fight in any other organization. Yeah, he don't want to fight in any other organization. CGI 1 wasn't contractually exclusive, but making it the same day made it exclusive. Who cares? They made more money. They made more money doing CJI than they would have at ADCC. Every athlete made $10,001 to show, I believe. I could be wrong. And had the opportunity to make $1 million. So what's the issue? Let's watch it one more time.
People think I'm taking this UFC BJJ very personal, but I wish that finale today all the success in the world. Obviously, they stole the pit, the rules, the judges, the staff, the blocking staff from working our event. But I hope the finale goes off with a bang today, and all you guys tune in to watch my ideas come to fruition on the UFC YouTube channel.
Fuck the UFC.
People think I'm taking this.
Alrighty. It says one championship in flow grappling allowed their athletes to participate in CJI. UFC BJJ does not. We're coming together for the greater good. Yeah, so maybe Craig Jones will make peace with the UFC like he did with Flow. We'll see. Liver King, yeah, we read that a little bit. Liver King arrested after alleged terrorist threat towards Joe Rogan. Why don't they go on UFC BJJ? Duke it out over there. Joe Rogan don't really train though. And Liver King don't train. They might have a heart attack out there. Them old dudes gonna have a heart attack out there. All them supplements, they probably got no cardio. I mean, they don't. Neither of these guys got cardio. They got too much money to have cardio. Brian Johnson, better known as Liver King, was arrested June 24th, 2 days ago. 2 days ago? Yep. In Austin, Texas. It took place in the evening, and Johnson was later booked into the Travis County Jail. According to police reports, Johnson was charged with making terroristic threat a Class B misdemeanor under Texas law. You guys like my announcer voice? I've been using it more. If convicted, he could face up to 180 days in jail and a $2,000 fine. Joe Rogan, I'm coming for you. Pause on that. Oh, they got a video.
Hey, okay.
I want to go to the profile, though.
Okay, so what did they say?
They, listen, just take this with a grain of salt, but they assured me he's going to be in and out.
Yeah.
It's like, we got to process you. He'll bail out, but we're talking probably 24 hours.
24 hours?
Maybe first thing tomorrow when he sees the judge. I don't know.
Oh, so it's not an hour. He's going to be there 24 hours.
I don't know.
Does she have a nose job, guys?
24 hour.
Take you this way to the lobby.
Thank you. And then do you know where their vehicle is? So.
Yes, it's just gonna, when you go out to the driveway.
Thank you for your discretion.
No problem.
They said in and out, but to a cop, in and out could mean 24 hours.
Oh.
Lead them to the driveway? The driveway, yes.
Okay. So that means 24 hours.
I don't know, Miss Barbara. I'm saying that they could hold him for 24 hours. However, they said in and out, which means they could go there and then he comes back out. But I'm under the assumption he would need to see a judge before he is dismissed. Well, these guys are gone.
Really? Thank you.
His family's coming over.
Yeah. That's how they're gonna treat Craig Jones if he tried to go to UFC. They're gonna get Craig Jones like that if he tried to go to UFC.
Oh, yeah, you just
No.
I'm mobile, bro. Like, dude, that'll. You guys put handcuffs on people in the back of the car? Inside the car? That's not.
You gotta keep the handcuffs on me like this, bro? So yeah, I don't know, man. What's going on with this world over here? We talked about this yesterday. Francisco Lowe, he was handed a 3-year suspension after a PED violation. Slap on the wrist. He's still doing no-gi though, isn't he? Is he at Aiga or somewhere? Francisco Lowe has officially been suspended from IBJJF competition after the Pan Championship this year. He is now stripped of his medium heavyweight gold medal. This would have been Lowe's first major IBJJF championship. So are you saying he needed that? He needed those supplements to win that first major? However, due to the violation, it's expected to promote silver medalist Mateus Luna. That's not fair. He going to the fight. He got the gold medal now to gold. A standard protocol, though not yet formally announced. They on the same team. I like Mateus Luna, but can you test him too? They closed out that middle heavyweight division at Pan, so we need you to test both people. USADA they test. I think they test like 3 people at the tournament, guys. Can IBJJF put some more money to testing? Can you test middleweight so I can get a medal too? Yo, please! If I get a Pan medal, bro, you guys ain't never gonna hear the end of it. I ain't never gonna stop talking about that medal, knowing full well I didn't win that thing. I don't care if I didn't win that match. If I get that medal, I'm a boo, bro. I need them test. I need them test like 2 guys. If they take 2 guys out, take me to the finals, bro. Heck yeah. They probably won't. Despite the ban, Lowe remains free to compete under other organizations. So what does it matter? What does it matter getting popped by USADA? You go over the who's number 1, UFC, BJJ, CJI. Zapatero, Aiga, BJJ stars, they don't test over there. Many of which do not honor PED suspensions issued by outside bodies. In fact, Lowe's competition schedule appears largely unaffected. He's still set to compete in this upcoming AIGA championship this weekend. So, at least you know for a fact that dude is on some stuff. He's also booked for one fight night against Isaac Michelle. So this sport is very dirty. So whenever you guys hear me complaining all the time, it's because this sport is dirty as crap. And I got to go out there. The only thing I'm taking is M&Ms, guys. That's the only thing I got. I mean, there's some crap in this too. Hopefully I don't get hit. If I get hit because I had some M&Ms, bro, I'm suing. Who makes this? Nestle? Mars Wrigley. I'm suing Mars and Wrigley. Bro, if I sue Mars and Wrigley and make like a $10 million, you guys ain't gonna see me no more. See you guys. I'm out. I'm scrubbing all my social media at that point. See ya. Bye guys. No more Instagram, no more YouTube. I'm done. I'll go to Africa. You guys, good luck finding me over there. I'm going to Africa, Jamaica, somewhere in the Caribbean. Craig Jones on UFC BJJ. UFC offered me 6 figures. What does that mean? 6 figures. They offered me 6 figures to coach against Mikey. They're gonna lowball you. When they say 6 figures, they mean $999,990,000. They ain't paying. UFC offered me 6 figures to coach against Mikey and compete against him. Mikey would have got toasted, bro. They would have killed Mikey. But Craig Jones would have been the head guy. Bowington says, what about those Shaq gummies, though? I'm suing Shaq, too. I'm suing everybody. I'm getting 2 lawsuits going. Don't let me get some millions of dollars, guys. Nah, it's about the same. Same amount of bull crap in it. All this yellow 5, red 40. All this stuff trying to kill me. It's all bull crap. No, them things. Listen, one serving M&Ms was like a handful, and then the Shaq gummies, you eat 3 of them. That's the same amount of calories. How three Shaq gummies the same as 32 pieces of M&Ms? Make that make sense. I'm getting upset. Sugar high, guys. Too much sugar. I just had 1 serving, guys. 1 serving left. At 1 serving, 140. UFC offered me 6 figures to coach against Mikey and compete against him. That would have been it. Mikey would have got toasted though against him, but it would have been fully exclusive. There's no way Craig Jones could have done that. He's got his own show. Why would he waste? He makes more than 6 figures. Craig got hands on millions of dollars. I ain't saying he got millions of dollars, but his hands be on the millions of dollars before he gives it to you. The sport is now entering an era where athletes won't be able to do ADCC or CJI. Feels wrong, feels bad. Is there another post? And one final annoyance. Until I formally declined coaching the UFC BJJ show, their athletes could compete in CJI. So not only is UFC not paying you, but they petty. JH says, because Shaq is a giant and he wanted real life giant portions. That might make sense. Imagine how much Shaq eats. He's bigger than everybody. He must eat like at least 6,000 calories, you think? He's huge to run his whole body. That's one reason I'm pretty happy to be the size I am. I can live off 2,000 calories, maybe a little bit less. I'll be all right. JH says, I had 1 pack and was set when he was giving them out at a music festival in Texas. Cool. Apparently, UFC got butthurt about Craig denying to coach and locking their athletes into exclusivity. Maybe this also lines up with Fionn falling out with Craig and posting shortly after she would have been allowed to compete in CJI. If true, absolute bad move by UFC. I mean, what do you expect by UFC? They created Slap Fight. What do you expect from Dana White, guys? What kind of brain dead MF would make Slap Fight? That's the worst sport ever created. Whatever crap you want to say about jiu-jitsu, Slap Fight is terrible. You over here, people, you know there's going to be a class action lawsuit against UFC in a little while. Another one. All them people got CTE, neck issues. All it takes is one person to get paralyzed. Bro, UFC, bro. I ain't defending UFC. Says, man, you got to appreciate that Craig is always open and transparent. Maybe a little too much in person regarding his fetishes, but, he's important to the sport. Dana being petty, never heard that one before. I doubt this is just Dana. The UFC's entire success has been trying to mess over their competition by any means possible. Yeah, UFC they put one championship out. No, they put Pride out of business. They put Bellator out of business. They put, what was it, WEC and all these other stuff, King of the Cage. They put everybody out of business. Apparently in America, that's not a monopoly, but, this country's backwards. Jason Whitfield says, I looked into those Shaq gummies you were eating yesterday. You might get a positive result because they have one serving of Shaq's tears, which are high in testosterone. So, yeah, I'll get to that when I get to it. Again, if I pop, I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue Mars. I'm going to sue Shaq. And you guys won't ever see me again. Says, no reason at all. Gordon Ryan has now signed up as a coach for the next season. You joke, but Gordon versus Nicky Rod is the supposed next season. Well, Nicky Rod already got $1 million. He need another $1 million? He good. He can do whatever he wants. Imagine the Gordon meltdown on IG if he loses. You seem to know the sport, but he already beat Nicky. Oh, and I know. And Gordon hasn't been competing for a while compared to Nicky constantly competing and getting better. Wouldn't be surprised if the tide started turning and Nicky starts winning consistently against him. Well, Gordo about to be 30. We'll see how he holds up. He not a good 30 either. He a worn down 30 years old. Says that'll be a great heavyweight season and final match, but Gordo might not. But Gordo might pull out if he has another tummy ache. Craig Jones versus Mikey, they're weight classes away from each other. Hasn't stopped Mikey before. He's had great matches while giving up a lot of weight. He would not beat Craig, though. Do I think he could beat Craig? Unlikely, but I sure watch it. Mikey would lose. Mikey would get folded. UFC trying to monopolize fighting of all kinds. No, UFC would never try to monopolize combat sports. The UFC is trying their best for the well-being of their athletes. Exclusive contracts are good for the sport, actually. Yep. Sounds about accurate. You're joking, but this is pretty much what Bodoni was saying on his podcast a while back. The guy is such a tool, just like his teammates. Bodoni was cool when I knew him back in Charlotte, but, when people, they hang around different crew and, they take in some supplements, their personalities start to change, just like their facial features start to change. I'm really over UFC at this point. I'd rather some Saudi blood money. Sheik started promotion just to rival you. They already got those. we got them all. It's cheaper for them to just pay the UFC to show up. Why waste all that time signing athletes, promoting, taking backlash for including women's divisions from their own people, backlash for not having them from the West, etc. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't understand why the exclusivity. ADCC, CGI, Grand Slam is what builds the hype for the athletes. Mikey, for example, I lost all interest on him after he started doing only super fights against opponents far below his level. Yeah. and he was one of the few I like to watch. I understand wanting exclusivity for super fights in certain events, but at least let them compete on the biggest tournaments. The UFC are not good business partners and do not act in faith. They will be bad for the competitive jiu-jitsu scene. The smell blood let's see. Dana is what's wrong with capitalism. He uses money to stifle competition, creating a monopoly that leads to underpaid workers. That's what he wants. CGI is greater than UFC, just like boxing. I want to watch boxing. I want to watch jiu-jitsu, not little jiu-jitsu. Or little wrestling, a little boxing. Yeah, we'll move on. Oh, we didn't move on. So Craig, he won't be allowed to corner UFC. Well, you guys figured that. I mean, we saw him blow up whatchamacallit, Dana White. Bringing up says Randy Couture hasn't been allowed to at one point. He wanted to corner his son's debut. He sued the UFC back then for a ton of money for whatever reason I forgot. You know the reasons. Dana hates Tito and he was allowed into tough events and I believe even into the Hall of Fame. Hold up, Randy Couture is not in the Hall of Fame. No company is going to do business with someone who sued them. Craig has perma banned. I don't care anymore. Shoot, we did 2 hours already. Musumeci versus Gabriel. Perfect example of A, why I hate leg locks, obsessed no-gi, and B, why jiu-jitsu will never be a casual viewer friendly. Effective, technical, and boring. I'll take Tackett all day, every day. Mikey, you know what? Mikey looked. I think Mikey's still great. He's one of the best to ever do it, but he didn't look invincible. He couldn't finish a kid that just started no-gi last week. The kid just started no-gi. He didn't know nothing about no-gi. He just learned leg locks yesterday. And Mikey, if his game doesn't work, the leg locks don't work, what else does Mikey have? He didn't seem very versatile. Sometimes that autistic hyper focus can backfire. That's what it seemed like this time. So, I really want to see Mikey fight Pato and Baby Shark. If they don't get tapped out, man, they might give Mikey a ride for his life. If they grab his leg, I don't know, man. I don't know. I felt like Mikey wasn't unbeatable this last tournament, this last match. I mean, of course, the kid was flexible, that you never can plan for that, but Mikey, it didn't seem like Mikey had any more tools. And everybody's doing that same stuff Mikey was doing. The crab ride, matrix to calf slice, entries to the ashi. Everybody's learning that stuff. That's kind of normal stuff now. I'm wondering, what does Mikey have? He didn't have no top game really. He didn't have the upper body attacks, the neck attacks. So I think Mikey fighting in one championship in UFC is actually not helping his game. He always had a very strategic game, but man, people gonna figure that stuff out, bro. People figure you out eventually, bro. Some young guys, they flexible and they technical. They know how to defend leg locks and they got good passing. Basically Baby Shark and Pato. Mikey, you need to fight these guys, bro. You doing the exclusive UFC, it's short-term money. You're going to make more money. You don't need to make all the money right now, Mikey. You 29, cement your legacy. He's already cemented his legacy, but there's always going to be questions. He fought Pato once, not a no-gi. He didn't fight Baby Shark. He didn't fight Mayram. And some other guys. There's a lot of guys he could have fought. The reason Gordo is with the UFC is because Craig is against them. That's weird. What's weird is Mikey went off on Gordo and his gear usage, and that's who the UFC chose. The UFC doesn't care about steroid. Is Mikey fighting Gordo? Mikey can't even pick up Gordo's leg. I actually do want to see that match though. So we talked about Liver King. He did get arrested. You saw the video. What was the real charge? Can't say that. Thanks, Reddit. Terroristic threat. Not to defend him, but based on that report, charging him with anything terrorism related, even a felony, seems way too strong for just a written post. It could be for clout. You know, these guys got a lot of money and lawyers, so they, you know, that don't mean nothing. He probably, his supplement business, they probably made a ton of sales because he went to jail. I don't want to read anymore. I'm sorry, guys. We saw the video. We got Mikey responds to Craig Jones. Can we play this without getting copyright strike? I'm gonna say no. Can't play that. Well, let's watch some videos. We got a blue belt who's the next up and coming dude. Yo, they should have put Jalen out there. Jalen Financier, the kid that won Rooster Weight. Put him out there. Got a little bit of home-low guard. This kid's been training for 15 years, and he's 17 years old. These kids are good, man. These kids going for the Darcy Nagi. I don't know if I would have suggested that. All right, he's still a blue belt. Why do UFC BJJ have some of those guys out there? They have blue belts and purple belts out there. He looks okay, man. He looks okay. I don't want to watch anymore. Gracie Baja. What happened to all the Gracie Baja guys? Kind of when Homolo and Octavio Souza kind of, retired. That was it for Gracie Baja. You ain't seen nothing from Gracie. I ain't seen nothing from Gracie Baja.
Welcome to Tokyo.
Can't play that. Shout out to Trey. So, they were in Tokyo, for the IBJF.
Do you after we fix something? Yeah, but basically training.
This is Shoya. He's had good matches. He's had good matches with Baby Shark and Pato, I believe. Did he win? He won Euros? No, he didn't. He won something recently.
Porrada. Let's go. Let's get around and show you.
Carpe Diem. Shout out to those guys. That's what's that kid? Danilo? Not Danilo. Danilo? Yeah, Danilo. Really good Japanese Brazilian. Guys, if you meet any Japanese Brazilians, just be ready to fight for your life. Every Japanese Brazilian I know is good at jiu-jitsu. All of them. Danilo, Andy, Fat Ninja. If you fight a Samuel Nagai, Jackson Nagai, Meow Bros. If you fight a Japanese Brazilian, good luck, man. Good luck. Shout out to Carpe Diem. Shout out to Axis. Shout out to Hiro BJJ. I can't play the music, guys.
Drink like this. All Japanese drink green tea, but sometimes.
Yeah, they drink green tea in training.
In the training, so
some barley tea too.
Sweetener I don't need. Yeah, so just drink tea is better for not water, just tea. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the secret, huh?
Yeah, secret. Bomba tea.
Bomba tea. You still need water, guys. Don't be drinking just tea. If you guys get a chance to go to Japan, go. Not during summer, but I can't play. It's too much music. Let's watch a jiu-jitsu match. This is from Worlds 2. This is the kid that won featherweight.
Of the whole tournament. And did you see? They call double boobies. Naga come up on top. Wow, that's surprising. They gave. They're gonna give. What are they gonna give? Are they gonna give?
I think
Okay.
the other referees think it was not a double guard pull.
Yeah, so they're taking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a little bit too late, and that was the 2 points right there. I think Sodré was a little too late on the pull.
And Biznaga has been on a crescent. He's
That was very nice of Biznaga though, because he didn't even care if there was points or guard pull or whatever. He just came up on top and said, "Let's just start this match." You know?
Yeah, he plays top often against some of the best guards. He did really well at Crown last year. Has been doing really well. But Diego Sodré with a beautiful sweep.
I didn't really understand the sweep. Was it from De La Riva? Let's see. De La Riva kind of overhook position, almost like a bolo.
He did really well.
And João Mendes, he tries to spin out of it.
At Crown last year.
Yeah, it's basically a bolo.
Has been doing really well. But Diego Sodré with a beautiful sweep. Coming on top and tying the match 2-2. Now he's on top.
Keep it in mind that Sodré, we're talking about, you know, he was losing the whole
So João Mendes has a deep lasso over here. I think he
entire
switches
match
it though.
against
Deep
Cobrinha's
lasso.
son, Kennedy. And at the very end of the match, he was able to get the submission. And when we say the very end, it was
3 seconds left.
No. It was at 0. It was at 0.
It was at 0 when they stopped, yes. But I believe it was 3 seconds left when he came on top. When he came on top.
Yeah. But there still was nothing there. You know, the clock, the time ended, and there wouldn't be points, by the way. And he was losing by 2 points.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So he had to get the submission.
I believe that's why Kennedy tried to hold on for so long. You know. And you can see that he looked.
So let's watch the setup. It's about to hit in a little bit.
Beautiful.
Really good lasso game here.
And Diego
really
has been in the finals
really
twice,
flexible.
if I'm not mistaken. And hasn't won just yet, but he did win, I believe, Europeans.
And he's the younger brother, huh? From Alex Sodré, who has also been
Lasso
on a tear
on the right
lately.
leg.
Both of these guys competing at the same division.
Kind of a lasso game here. Double sleeve. Basically standard jiu-jitsu, really. A very, very John Thomas inspired jiu-jitsu over here.
Nice try, nice guard pass.
A little bit of key master with the cross guard here.
Now the thing with Biznaga coming up on.
Now let's watch this, guys. You see he's grabbing the ankle with the left hand. I think right side. I believe he's gonna throw a lasso in.
Top is not.
So he's got a kind of a medium lasso, medium deep lasso here.
Because I was surprised that he plays on top. All these guys have amazing.
Now he moves into the Kyotera. So his opponent should have recognized the position earlier, and for some reason he just wasn't doing the right thing with the leg. He's on the De La Riva side, but I believe because of the lasso and I don't know what else, he just wasn't really ready to address it.
Amazing guard pass. Oh, look at.
So he's pushing the leg down, but in this case, we did a video on it. Somebody said I did the wrong technique, but you know, you need to lift that leg up, keep the pan leg or pummel underneath, and you got to pull that leg up off of you, because if you let him close this foot down, I don't know if you guys can see. If you let him close this foot down, his left leg to the mat, that's it. It's over.
I know that technique, huh?
The Kyotera footlock right there.
I know.
And he's turning internally. He's gonna blow his knee.
That technique. Is it gonna happen at finals of the worlds? I didn't manage to do that at Gi Worlds. I believe maybe at no Gi Worlds, but not at Gi Worlds. And that was the submission happened.
So he hurt his knee. It hurt. It's on the ankle, but it hurt his knee.
But not at I didn't manage to do that at Gi Worlds. I believe maybe at no Gi Worlds, but not at Gi Worlds. And that was the submission happened. The Kyotera Puma. No way.
So you see, he's holding his knee. It hurt his knee.
Right there. What?
Did you see how he played out? Diego tried to turn in for his foot to try to.
So when when Rahadi and other people saying, "Oh, why are you butt scooting?" We don't want to see the bear match, the pushing match. We want to see submissions. you need to pull guard usually to get them submissions, unless you want to wrestle for upper body controls and kimuras and guillotines. But you know that don't work all the time. So I think that's it, guys. I'm gonna jump off of here. If you guys want to support the channel, invertedgear.com, BJJ Mental Models. They're doing, they do a lot of stuff on there. If you want to learn more about ecological, go check out BJJ Mental Models. And we got a video out on my main channel tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow. I haven't put out a video in like 2 months. I believe March, April, May, June. Oh, shoot. 3 months. Just realized it took me 3 months to put everything together, to research all the stuff, put everything together, write a script, and to figure out the game. I don't just, some of these guys on YouTube just say whatever, ain't got no proof. Can't do the move. They can't do none of the moves they talk about. I go out there. I'm over here crushing people's souls with the technique. I'm out here doing some stuff. I'm out here crushing people's. I'm out here hurting people for the culture over here. So every move. Actually, I pick a lot of moves I'm interested in. A lot of athletes I'm interested in, or I think I can learn something from. So we'll see who the next video. This next video should be okay. If you're into passing, it should be a really good one. We're gonna get into the videos, and then I'll see who I want to do next. No Diddy, who I want to cover next. No Diddy on that too. The topic, and there's so many really good people. I'm trying this new video. Someone else already just covered him maybe a month ago. So I think I'm gonna go left field next time, and pick someone nobody would ever cover. Jason says the commentaries are okay, but Jake Watson and Sean Williams are by far the best duo. Their explanation of the technique and position is top notch. Well, they know what they're talking about. Unlike the UFC, they couldn't have gotten Ryan Hall or Damian Maia or Gilbert Burns or somebody that got a black belt. Not none of these fake MMA black belts that don't know nothing. So it's been bad. Think about CJI. CJI was a hit. CJI was a hit. First one. UFC, BJJ, which copied Craig Jones, was not a hit. They had some good matches. I wanted to see Mikey and some other guys, but it was really long. Started at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Bro, it hit 9 o'clock. I was like, bro, I got to dip. I'm done. So they picked Wednesday evening to showcase that. That probably was not the best time. People got to work and stuff to do the next day. So yeah. Again, you want to support the channel, do that. Don't forget about Ben Askren. You can get the t-shirt or donate to him. Check out my main channel tomorrow. I should be on probably afternoon or evening or something. I'll let you know. That's it. We'll be on Friday too. We stream on Monday through Friday over here. I got my office hours over here. If you guys ain't got no money or nothing, just tell people about the live stream. That goes a long way too. And that's it, guys. I'm gonna play my video and get out of here. And just be safe, man. Don't eat too much shot gummies like me. And be healthy. That's all I can ask for, guys. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.